Aerodrome Prime was a city shrouded in perpetual twilight. Skyscrapers cast long shadows over dimly lit streets, and the echoes of footsteps bounced off the cold concrete walls. It was a city built on secrets, where the line between reality and illusion blurred. In the heart of Aerodrome, a nondescript building stood as an enigmatic fortress, cloaked in mystery. Its entrance was guarded by two agents. Agent X, known as the Keeper, had the power to restore memories on a subconscious level, while Agent Z, the Eraser, could wipe them away with a single touch. Jim Brown, an amnesiac who had stumbled into Aerodrome Prime months ago, sat in a dimly lit room. He had vague flashes of his past, but nothing coherent. His existence was a puzzle, missing too many pieces to ever be whole. The Keeper entered the room, his eyes concealed behind reflective sunglasses. His voice was smooth as silk. "Mr. Brown," he says, "we meet again. I believe it's time for another session." Jim nodded, his heart pounding in anticipation. The Keeper's powers were his only hope of unlocking the secrets hidden within his fractured mind. Memories were precious commodities, and Jim craved to get them back. The Keeper extended his hand, his fingertips grazing Jim's forehead. A warm sensation washed over him, like a gentle wave caressing the shore. Memories, long forgotten, began to resurface. He remembered his childhood, his family, and his name, Jake. Jake. He recalled his first name, but couldn't fully remember his last name. All he knew was that his last name isn't Brown, but Jake is unsure what it was. But then, something changed. The Keeper's hand trembled, and Jim or Jake felt a sudden jolt of pain. Memories surged violently, overwhelming his senses. He saw faces, places, and moments of terror. His screams filled the room, echoing through the cold, sterile walls. Agent Z, the Eraser, rushed in, her eyes fixed on the suffering man. With a single touch, she erased the memories that had just surfaced. Jake's screams faded into a pained whimper as his mind was blank once more. The Keeper withdrew his hand in exhaustion, his sunglasses hiding any emotion in his eyes. "I apologize, Mr. Brown. Something is off with my Maitri aptitude this evening. We will have to postpone our session." Jake, gasping for breath, tried to speak, but the words eluded him. He couldn't comprehend what had just happened, why his memories had been ripped from him so violently. As the agents left the room, Jake's mind raced. He couldn't trust the Keeper, and he certainly couldn't trust the Eraser. But he was trapped in Aerodrome Prime, a city where his memories were currency, and he needed them to survive. Days turned into weeks as Jake had the same recurring dream of a wolf howling at the moon. Same exact dream over and over again for the last few weeks. Now cautiously continuing his sessions with the Keeper. Each time, memories would surface, tantalizingly close to his grasp, only to be ripped away by a sudden surge of pain. He became obsessed with uncovering the truth, desperate to reclaim his past. One night, as he lay in his dimly lit room, a chilling thought gripped him. What if the Keeper wasn't malfunctioning at all? What if he was intentionally inflicting pain, erasing specific memories, and keeping something hidden from me? Determined to uncover the truth, Jake devised a plan. He pretended to pass out during one of his sessions, feigning weakness. The agents, believing Jake to be unconscious, began to mutter to one another, "Project Illuminati needs just a few more days of this to be optimal. Then we can dispose of him." Z shakes her head in agreement. Project Illuminati was a puzzle piece he had never known existed, but slightly sounded vaguely familiar. It held the key to his forgotten memories, and the Keeper was protecting it at all costs. But why? What was so dangerous about this project that it had to be concealed? Why are they going to dispose of me? Jake thinks to himself. The next day, May 1st, 5776, the Keeper touches Jake's forehead, and the memories start to flood back into him again. But this time he remembers his last name wasn't Brown, as he mutters to himself softly, and slowly raises his voice, repeating the memories he had uncovered so that the agents could hear him. He repeats, "My last name isn't Brown, it's Wolf." Caught off guard, hesitated for a moment. But then, a sinister smile crept across X's face as Z starts to close in on Jake, aimed to make him forget. X says, "Mr. Wolf, it seems you've outgrown your usefulness." Jake falls back away from Z and pulls out an Alpha Defender, pointing it at Z, yelling, "Get back!" In a swift motion, the Keeper extended his hand in the blink of an eye, his fingers aiming for Jake's forehead. Jake had stolen a small blue steel artifact from the Eraser the night before, a device capable of countering the Keeper's powers. As X's fingertips brushed Jake's skin, Jake activated the artifact with a drip of blood, and simultaneously, a surge of energy rippled through him, repelling the Keeper's influence. For the first time, he was in control of his own memories. X's eyes widened in shock, and in a final desperate attempt, he reached for Jake's wrist. But it was too late. His memories flooded back completely now, a torrent of images and emotions that threatened to drown him. He remembered everything: the city where he had come from, the experiments, and the reason he had ended up in Aerodrome Prime. Project Illuminati was a dangerous experiment in mind manipulation, and Jake was the key to its success. With newfound clarity, Jake confronted the Keeper, who was now powerless on the ground, still keeping his aim trained on Z. Tells her, "Drop all of your weapons without any sudden movements," and motioning her to the door. Z, realizing the tables have turned on her, disgusted, and with a "this isn't over" look on her face as Jake focuses his gun on X as Z leaves the room. Jake pulls out his cell phone with his free hand and says, "Now you're going to tell the world everything." Jake unarms and zip ties X to a chair and starts recording, demanding answers, and the Keeper, defeated, reveals the truth about Project Illuminati. It was a weapon capable of manipulating the minds of entire populations, humans, and evolved humans alike. As the city of Aerodrome descended into chaos, Jake Wolf unties X and tells him to leave, knowing that once he is spotted in public, he doesn't have to pull the trigger. Once an amnesiac searching for his past had become a hero. Or did he? Knowing that the city he wanted to protect is now rioting and that Project Illuminati was only one project that was brought to the light, what other projects are out there that he doesn't know about?